Hi, welcome to another question from 101 Questions to Ask About Your Life, a free book that you can find on the Loner Wolf website. Just a bunch of journal prompts. Can't speak this morning. That's starting off good. The question is about wisdom. We're going to do two questions. First of all, at the beginning I haven't shared the quotes that they share at the beginning of each section, but I was reading the one for the wisdom section and I just really wanted to share it because I love it. It's better to know some of the questions than all of the answers. That speaks to me so much. I guess it's because maybe I have many more questions than I do answers, but I love it. Okay, 97. So, do I listen more than I speak? This one's interesting, especially since this is a part of speaking more, this whole video expression project. And it's because I realized that I was starting to listen way more than I was speaking. And so in terms of being wise, I think listening, making sure that we're listening instead of speaking all the time is important. But a lot of the people who might be following kind of what I'm doing here are probably more like me in the sense that maybe they listen a lot more than they speak, and they should be speaking up more. I still love what somebody said in the comments on my video, and I've already quoted this before, but it's just this idea that the people that we wish would speak more are the ones who speak the least. And that really speaks to me, because I know that as I was getting older, and it depends on who I'm with, right? As an introvert, I didn't really realize that I was an introvert because I had surrounded myself with some people that I felt I could really open up to. And so with those people that I feel close to, sometimes I even feel bad because I take up all the space and I talk so much. For example, just over a year ago, I had a friend from Canada come and visit me in France, and I spoke like crazy, and I just found myself apologizing because I was I'm sorry, I'm not letting you speak, but it's because I don't speak like that with everybody. And so when I'm with those people that I feel really good speaking with, it just all comes out, and I can't even control myself sometimes. So sometimes I feel bad because I know that I'm speaking more than I'm listening with specific people. My husband sometimes is kind of the same way. I feel like I take up a lot of the space, and I try to make more room to listen for him, because he's a great listener and he listens more than he speaks in our relationship. So it depends in different contexts, right? But I was really starting to notice that I was getting to a point, once I got out of high school and once I was moving away from these people that I felt really good speaking with, I was starting to notice that I wasn't speaking anymore, and I was only listening, and I was having a harder and harder time speaking. And while I've noticed that people like it when we listen to them, and I do enjoy listening to people, I've noticed that I need to speak more. That I need to interrupt sometimes and try to get my word in, or that I need to have confidence in what I'm going to add to the discussion, even if it's just one sentence. That can be enough, and then that's okay. So for me, I feel beginning to speak more has been more important anyway. But we can't forget to listen either. That's the heart to heart, that's the exchange. And so as I'm speaking more, I'm noticing that maybe I'm listening less, but I'm aware of that and trying to be mindful of listening as much as possible. And that's part of the heart to heart project, even though it's a little bit hard to show that I'm listening when it's like just a letter. And then when it's a live interview, and this is why I don't really do them that much, I find it difficult to listen to because there's always like stuff going on with the equipment, like the screen is freezing, and so I like get like cut off from listening to the person because I have to try to fix it or something like that, and I just hate it. Like I if I'm listening, I'm like full in listening, and if I get cut off, it just really frustrates me actually. So it's hard to go as deep as I'd like to in the listening. I'm going to do another question, 98. Do I let my ego get in the way of how I see, listen to, and value others? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I know that it's all about those mirrors that I personally think about and probably talk about a lot, is that sometimes when I'm seeing someone else or listening to someone else or valuing someone else, I'm doing it from my own perspective, and maybe not necessarily seeing things objectively or trying to see it from their point of view in some ways. Definitely not all the time, but sometimes. And sometimes I get a little bit lost in that or confused about what is actually mine and my ego or what is actually like coming from them. And so that's something to stay really mindful of. I'm going to think about this one some more, but those are the first things coming up, and I'm sharing them here with you. So if you have some more ideas on what comes up for you with that question, I'd like to hear. Always happy to hear what you have to share. I'm going to leave it there for today. See you in the next question. Thanks for listening.